Hey, we'll be here in the Allegheny Trail. I am here with Section 1 coordinator.
Hi, I'm John Hindman. I'm the Section 1 coordinator for the Allegheny Trail.
So, John, for people that don't know, what does Section 1 entail?
Section 1 is from the northern terminus at the Pennsylvania line near Brewston Mills, it's about a 92-mile section, and it ends in Blackwater Falls State Park, I believe, by the Liberty Stable.
Yeah, right there, right where the overlook.
Right.
Right where the overlook you can walk to.
Yeah.
Right? So, how would you describe Section 1?
Section 1 is predominantly a country road walk. It's not really a city road walk. It's not really a very busy. It's just a lot of backcountry highways or backcountry gravel roads with a lot of farmland. But it does have a few nice views, and it does have a beautiful section through the Cheat Canyon Gorge, which is about 10-mile stretch, and it ends at the Fort Cheat Campground, and that section is a beautiful section along the Cheat River, and then after that, you do another road walk, and then you go back from Terra Alta, I believe. Then you go through from Terra Alta to Rollsburg, West Virginia, and then from Rollsburg on into Davis and Thomas, West Virginia. Beautiful trail towns, great food, and then you finish at Blackwater Falls State Forest with a beautiful waterfall there.
From Rollsburg towards Davis, you actually enter a large section of Monongahela.
Right, Monongahela National
Forest. So it becomes more of a.
It's more of a woods walk than it is.
Yeah, and to me, when I'm doing that northern section, you after you pass I-64, I think that the scenery becomes like pristine. I mean, it's a lot of country farms and stuff, but it's sprawling country farms. You can see for miles.
Right.
In some cases.
It's a really nice section of the trail. It offers you a variety of, and you don't have those great overlooks, but you do have a lot of nice overlooks where you're looking over rolling valleys and beautiful farm country. And then the Cheat Canyon, I think especially, is gorgeous.
So if you're a beginner hiker, I would say that the northern section is a good way to break yourself in.
Right, because it's very flat for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part, there's not a lot of elevation change, and what elevation you do have until you get to the end of the Cheat Canyon is mostly downhill, and it's a very easy. I think the only problem that you would have as a beginner hiker is places to stay.
Right, that's the biggest thing about that section is because we don't have a lot to offer other than we have the Friends of Cheat Campground. So you're looking at, you may have to do some longer miles to find good camping spots.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's a church.
There's the Nebo Church you can stay at.
Currently,
the Friends of Cheat Campground. There's the River House in Rollsburg. Thomas and Davis, no problem.
Yeah, and once you get past Cheat Canyon, you're in.
Right, you're good.
Once you get there, you can
pretty much stealth camp anywhere after Cheat.
Yeah, and stealth camp, you don't really have to be stealthy about it. Just
Right, and there is a shelter in Rollsburg also.
Yeah, there is a nice shelter in Rollsburg. Yeah, so that first part of it, very easy to break in. It's very easy to road walk. You're going to do more miles than what you think you're going to do at that first section.
Right.
So it's definitely a way to break yourself into the trail. So what's the hardest part about maintaining Section 1? Would you consider the Cheat Canyon hard?
The Cheat Canyon, I think, is our biggest responsibility as far as maintenance goes, just because it's the longest, pretty much, I think, the longest. And a lot of the other, when you're in the woods, isn't so bad. And then at the southern end, a good bit of that is in the state park, and a lot of that, they maintain some of it.
Yeah. So as you're going through Cheat Canyon, that is an old rail logging railroad, right?
Right. So my biggest problem with the Cheat Canyon is drainage, and there's some endangered species there, so I can't drain it as much as I'd like to drain some of the water off of it. And you're following an old railroad bed, and that big gravel area especially at the northern section of the Cheat Canyon, is really a lot larger than it is in the southern section. And in the southern section, it's not as gravelly. It's more of a flat mud, nice trail. And compared to when you're walking on the railroad bed at the northern section of the canyon.
So if you're a hiker that likes a challenge, and it's not a huge challenge, I think it's your first challenge. What is the creek that comes down off of there? There's an old footbridge there
that I can't remember that creek. I know exactly where you mean though, Frank. That's closer to the northern section.
It is.
And you have to navigate that creek, which sometimes, if it's a lot of heavy rain, is a little bit tough to navigate. But
yeah,
it's not undoable.
To me, that's the thing where you test yourself as a hiker, right? And it's not a huge test, and it's the kind of thing you look back on and like, oh, I really like that. But when you're crossing it, you may be cussing, but when you're looking back, it's one of the parts that you enjoy. You enjoy that whole canyon section, to be honest.
Absolutely.
It is beautiful. And then you go through, I'm drawing a blank, the town there.
Albright.
Albright's a nice little trail town. There's a couple places you can get a resupply there if you want. If it's open, there's a place you can actually get tacos.
Right, that's the little taco stand there.
There's a little taco stand further down the road, but if it's open,
yes,
I'm never sure they're ours. So
that's the problem. It's the same thing as when you get to Rollsburg. There's a restaurant in town, but their hours are limited, and some days they don't even open at all. And they'll say, like, when you look online, it'll say they are open till 7 in the evening, and you'll get there at 5 and they may not be open.
But in Rollsburg, if you're looking for a place to stay in Rollsburg, there is a very historic inn in Rollsburg that is definitely Allegheny Trail friendly.
Yes. Tim's place is really nice.
And it's down by the river, and I think he even offers.
He has a campground also, yes.
Offers camping there too if you want to camp, or you can stay in the inn.
Right. I think Tim would take a resupply from you too. You can mail it to him.
Yeah. There's different places. All that, of course, is on the
Farout app.
On the Farout app, so definitely check it out. And every time you purchase the Farout app and purchase our trail, it kind of gives back to the trail too. So definitely.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to
No,
add?
that's all. I thank you for interviewing me, and I'm glad to let everybody know about our section of the trail. And we hope you like to hike the Allegheny Trail. It's the longest trail in West Virginia, and we appreciate you to come on out and hike our trail.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Frank.